My phone rang at 3:17 in the morning. I almost didn't answer it. But when I looked at the screen, it was my own number calling me. I'm not someone who believes in the unexplainable. I'm practical. I work a regular job, I live alone, and I don't scare easily. But sitting there in the dark with my own name on that screen, I froze. I told myself it had to be a spoof number, some scammer trick. It happens all the time, right? So I answered. The first thing I heard was breathing, slow and steady. Not panicked, not aggressive, just breathing. Like someone who had been waiting a long time to finally make this call. And then I heard my own voice. Not similar to mine, not someone doing an impression. My voice. The exact way I talk, the exact rhythm, the specific way I pause before I finish a sentence. It said 4 words. Don't go to sleep. I hung up immediately. I told myself I imagined it, that I was half asleep and my brain filled in the gaps. That's what brains do at 3 in the morning. I put the phone face down on the nightstand and stared at the ceiling. At 3:24, it rang again. Same number. I don't know why I answered again. I still don't. But I did. This time, the voice didn't wait. It started talking the moment the call connected, and what it said made me sit up straight in bed. It described my apartment. Not in a general way. It described the specific stack of books on my kitchen counter, the chair I'd pushed against the wall 2 days ago, the glass of water I had left next to the sink that evening. Things no one would know. Things that weren't visible from any window. And then it said, check the front door. I hadn't heard anyone come in. I hadn't heard anything. I want to be honest with you. What I did next was probably the stupidest decision I've ever made. I got out of bed. I didn't turn on the lights. I don't know why. I just moved through the dark toward the front door. The chain was on. The deadbolt was locked. Everything exactly as I'd left it. I stood there for a moment, feeling ridiculous. Then I went back to the bedroom. The phone was on my pillow. I had left it on the nightstand. The screen was on. The call was still connected. I'd never actually hung up this time. The timer read 4 minutes and 11 seconds. I picked it up slowly and put it to my ear. My voice was still there, waiting. It said, "Good. Now lock the bedroom door." And here's the part I still think about every single night. I did it. I locked the bedroom door, and about 30 seconds later, I heard the front door open. Someone was in my apartment. I could hear footsteps moving slowly from the entryway toward the hallway. Not rushing, not searching, just walking, like they already knew the layout. I stayed completely still, phone in my hand, the call still connected. The footsteps stopped outside my bedroom door, and then I heard it. A knock. 3 slow knocks from the other side. The voice on the phone spoke one more time. Don't answer it. I didn't. I don't know how long I sat there before I heard the footsteps go back down the hallway. The front door opened again. And then, nothing. Silence. When the sun came up, I called the police. They found no signs of forced entry. The chain on the front door was still attached, and they couldn't explain how it had gotten that way. There was nothing in my apartment that shouldn't be there. Except for one thing. On the kitchen counter, next to that stack of books, there was a phone. Not mine. An older model. A flip phone. And when the officer opened it, there was one number in the call log. Mine. I still don't know who was on that call. I don't know how they sounded exactly like me. I don't know how they knew my apartment, my routines, the glass of water by the sink. What I do know is this. If I hadn't answered that phone, I wouldn't be telling you this story.